Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host Shubz, here with a very, very special guest in the building. It's good to have her in the building because we don't get many aunties from the sports arena around here. So and a fellow Maori sister too. So represented New Zealand in rugby league and probably done a few other things too, and just cracked her a bit of a job at the RLPA too. So she's going to tap into all of that. And yeah, Madison Bartlett, what's good, sis?
Kia ora. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. For anybody that don't know who you is, can you give us a little background, a little synopsis on yourself?
Ko ki rangi te maunga, ko api te awa, ko horo te suaka, ko ngā tipiro te iwi, ko Madison tōku ingoa, no Wairoa hau from the East Coast. So I'm Maddie. I have been playing rugby league for a little while now. That's kind of what I'm known for in the sporting arena. Stuff at the Warriors when they had a team, and then when they kind of pulled out due to COVID, as such, they say. That's he whakaaro no tērā. But we won't go into... Yeah, then I got the opportunity to move across the ditch and play, first of all, at the Dragons, which I had such a great experience there. I loved it. Kind of took my game to another level. And I kind of saw what it was like to actually play, in Australia and those kinds of things. It's very different than but yeah, and then I moved across to the Titans, another experience there. Lived on Main Beach, right on the beach. Felt like a millionaire. Any better?
Yeah, way better. Far right. There was like triple echoes going on now. I was like, yeah. I heard, let's just start back. So you're all good. So when you did a little bit of the start of the PPR, and then when you said New Zealand Warriors, and then you said he kōrero anō tērā, boom, switched. So let's go from there. So your Warriors, and then
yeah, he kōrero anō tērā.
Right. Let's just leave that there, eh?
Yeah, leave that there. So yeah, I was at the Warriors, and then I moved across to the Dragons. Had such a good experience there. It's real different, eh? Like playing in kind of the environment of an Aussie-based team.
Oh, true.
My own experience was like much more professional, there, compared to back home. And to be honest, like I was the only New Zealand player in a full Australian team. Like I moved there not knowing anyone. So I think, and that, to be honest, was kind of a reflection probably of whether New Zealand and Australia game was at as well. Like, they've been and had those professional systems for such a long time, and then being chucked into that, I was like, damn, this is what it's really supposed to be like. And to be honest, like I did like it at the Warriors, but when I compare it, just like it wasn't just a tick the box, like they were all in like for our team, like anything that they could do for us, they would do. So yeah, it was cool. And then I got the opportunity to move up to Gold Coast. Upon reflection, like for my game, it probably wasn't the right decision. But like life experience, it was so cool. Like I've met some lifelong friends up there. So I guess it's kind of a bit of a trade-off. And then I ended up at Canberra, and that's like a funny story in itself. I was all but signed to go back to Gold Coast. And I wanted to go back there. And I came down here just visiting my partner, and I met up with the coach down here, and I just like chatted to him, and he actually helped us the year that we were in the Warriors, when 5 of us moved over. So I knew him from there. Yeah. And so I actually really liked him. He was such a great person. And then the Gold Coast backflipped on me, and they're like, oh, we don't want you anymore. We've got all these Jillaroos girls that want to come to our team. So I was kind of like, oh, shucks. Like I really thought that I was going back there. And so
they done the David Fafita today.
Literally. And I was kind of like, oh, shucks. Like, but I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. And I ended up getting 2 years down here. So that's where I'm at the moment, loving life here.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed playing under our coach as well. Like, he's such a good coach, and his first thing was like he wanted good people here, not just good players. And I think that's so important, because like I haven't experienced it myself, but I've heard of teams, they all it takes is one bad egg, and then like, jeepers, it can just cause chaos in the team. So yeah, I mean, and it's quite unique down here in Canberra, as in like no one really has whānau down here. Like, it's just you have each other, like your team, that's it. Everyone's kind of come in from like wherever they've come from. So for that 6 months that we're together, like we're each other's family, whānau, like that's all you got. We do everything together. Like, we go to training, but we'll, hang out on the weekends, like go for feed, like all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I like that kind of thing. It's pretty cool.
That's good being Maori, being Maori, and us Maoris, Polynesians, we, whanaungatanga is everything, being around, having that, like, that family dynamic, or that tight knit sort of community, which is what we grow up on with on the marae, or so that makes sense, sister, that you resonate with that 100. And
to be honest, for the first time, we were like the majority instead of the minority. Like,
power to the
people. It was crazy, like Māori Pacific, like that was pretty much us. We had Holly from England, and then we had like maybe one or two other Pākehā, and then that was it. Like, I was like, yo, this is mean.
Yeah, solid. Hey, but before we get into that, like more of what you're up to there, take us back to our young Maddie. Well, what's life for young Maddie? You said Wairoa. You just grew up there all your life in Wairoa?
Nah, I was born in Wairoa, but we moved up to Auckland when I was young. Yeah, and then I've kind of lived in Auckland all my life with mum and dad.
You were like to say.
You wouldn't believe it. They used to babysit my sister.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I got heaps of cousins, heaps of whanaungas.
Yeah.
When people go, Shubz, what's your favorite color? I was like, red. Why? Because I wanted to be one of these when I was a kid. I don't anymore, but when I was a kid, I did. On my own, stay fast. Shout out to the babysitters. You're the fun. So Auckland, eh?
Yeah, Auckland. Went to kura there, just to like primary school, intermediate, high school, just kind of cruised along. To be honest, didn't really like school that much.
Where were you? Whereabouts in Auckland? Was Auckland a big place?
It is a big place. Yeah, massive. I was on the North Shore, but like you say North Shore and everyone's like, "Ooh, North Shore," but we were in the hood of the North Shore, like North Coast.
Beach Haven?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was in Northcote, but Beach Haven, like right next door. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Kevin Locke, Northcote. Alex Glenn.
Alex
Glenn. Yeah.
He wasn't there when I was there. He was too old for me, but he was there when my sister was there. But I kind of just went to school and signed up to every single sport I could, so I could go out on as many like sports days as possible.
Those tricks there. Just get all the excursions.
I know. Come home with a permission slip every second day for my mum and dad to sign. Mum, can you sign this? She's like, "Hey, since when did you play volleyball?"
every day, mum.
I know. And like we had these sports weeks, and like I was really into like netball and basketball at the time, but I would always pick to go to soccer, because soccer we got to go away like out of Auckland, whereas like the other two were like, I was like, no, mum, I want to go soccer.
Yeah. Do you think that helped you with your with your game at all, playing soccer or with these other sports?
Shit, have you ever seen me kick? Probably not.
Maybe endurance, yeah. Maybe just running there, just running backwards and forwards.
Oh yeah.
Up the kicks, aces. Wow. Bender like Maddie, yeah. Bender like Maddie.
Oh man. Then what else? I went to uni in Auckland at AUT. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did Bachelor of Communications. So I did so random. I did radio and advertising. To be fair, I fell into radio because I didn't get into any of the other majors, but ended up again being one of the best things that happened, because then I went on to work at NZME, which is like, do you know Flavour? Like My FM, Flavour.
Yeah. I had old Improvise on there before. He's got a show on there now, Flavour FM, or whatever.
Yeah. So I went to work there for 4 years, I think.
What were you doing this?
I did heaps of stuff. I did like brand engagement and like, so kind of, then I did a little bit of content. Then I was our online media producer, like heaps of different stuff. I did a little bit of on-air stuff, but I freaking hated it.
Oh, you don't like it?
Not the on-air stuff. Like I felt like you had to be, I don't know, like have a real personality. And I was like, oh, nah, that's not
What do you mean? You and the bro had a show, didn't you, last year? What happened to that?
Yeah, true. That was cool. I liked it.
Oh, you enjoyed it? Oh, yeah.
I did. I loved doing the show. Adam was cool to work with, but don't tell him I said that.
Yeah, shout out to the boo. Yeah. No, but so what, like, when you comes to on-air stuff, like we watch shows, we how does it all work? Just like you get in there, what's the go? Like you start where and then
I just started doing like little bits and pieces like ads and stuff, and then I kind of jumped on for some segments, and then
like you recorded them, sis. You like recorded like ad reads. Okay, give us one.
Yeah.
Give us one.
Nah, get out of Nah, no chance.
Oh, damn.
Oh, man. And then my boss, he was like, oh, do you want to like do some weekend stuff? And I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. And then, yeah, I did it for a while, but no, it wasn't my thing.
Oh, well, fair enough. And what's that, 4 years there?
4 years there.
Then we'll be off to you after that. What's the key?
Then I went to Massey University, and I was helping the students, year 13 transition from school to university. Just like kind of like pathways, careers and stuff like that. And then before I left, I loved it there. It was so good. And they were so supportive. Like I came over to Australia 3 times for 6 month stints, and they let me still work and stuff like that. Yeah, they were my bosses there. Shout out to Drew. He was
shout out to Drew.
There was a few, Drew, Stefan, they were so good. They let me work over here and just made everything work. Like they
what you come here for?
What? To Aussie?
Yeah, what you come here for? Playing up that.
Yeah,
for your time, is that why you're coming over for your time?
No. I was just like, I was going back and forth, and it was like, it was quite unsettling, like I was like living here for 6 months in a share house, and I'd go home, and I have a place back home, and it was like I was paying the mortgage over there, and then like half the time I wasn't in it, and it was just it became, and after doing that for 3 years, it became quite a lot, and I was like, oh damn, I really need to figure out what I'm going to do. And then it just ended up when I signed with Canberra, like obviously my partner was here, so it just made sense to kind of it was a very soft transition. Like I kind of just like took some stuff and then went back and got some more, and then and I feel like
pad back home, or did you slang it off?
Yeah. I still got it there.
But if 10 years, 20 years, that's gonna be worth millions, cuz. Millions.
Yeah, and then to be honest, I've only just moved the final piece of home over here. Last week I went back to get my puppy. Yeah.
Not the last week. Where was who was puppy living with?
She was with my mum and dad, and they loved her. Like they're so good. But that kind of was the last thing to bring over.
Too much. Your partner there, how do you follow me? What's that story? How did you meet the bro? Whoever that follows.
Depends which one of us you ask. You'll get
I'm asking you, just give us the Wairoa story. Yeah.
No, we were both playing for the Kiwis at the World Cup. So nearly 2 years ago now.
Oh, hey, those Wakiki snickies, hey, fellas, eh?
Yeah, so he was playing for the men's team, and I was playing obviously for our women's team, and we just kind of crossed paths a little bit over there, hung out a little bit, and then it's kind of just went from there. And then, to be fair, I actually didn't tell him that I was signing at Canberra until I had signed here. Like I sent him my contract, and he was like, "What? No," because he thought I was going back to Gold Coast, which I was meant to be. But it was cool, like I kind of like doing it like that, and that's one thing that I made real clear to our coach, is I was like, don't sign me if you don't want me. Like, don't sign me because he's here. Like, I want our like footy to be separate, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, the club has been nothing but supportive towards us. Like, they respected that we didn't want people to know. Like, they wouldn't put anything on social media.
Yeah.
And it just because, like, not because it was a secret. It was just that, like, we wanted, you know, like, me to be my footy player, him to be his, not like, and you see what media does to, like, other couples. I mean, we're pretty low key. We don't really have social media followings, but you see what they do to some of the other players. And I'm just like, I don't want to be like
they just, they do things anyway. Like, even if you do nothing, just because they follow some of them. Oh, yeah, but understandable. And again, good on you for taking that stance, but obviously a bit more open now, hey? The world sort of knows now. But
kind of, we just let people find out, you know, our families knew. That was all that really mattered.
Of course. And fuck everybody else.
And like, when I say that they were supportive, like, they had like some time off, and even his coach, he let him come over to New Zealand to come meet my family and stuff like that. So yeah, and he wanted to meet me, so I came in and met him and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know, like, I feel like people
real whanungatanga, eh? That's good.
Yeah, so good. And, like, you know, people are always talking shit about Sticky on social media. Yeah, but man, he is supportive, nicest, kindest people you ever met. Like, I got so much time for him, eh? Like, and I just
cracked the 2A, not a contract.
Yeah.
Too much for that, eh? That's it.
Hopefully get some premierships, eh?
No, I don't know about that. Up the walls.
At the moment.
Yeah, not too good, races. Fuck it. No, yeah. Wait, one of the players was telling me, he's like, you know, you did this, you need to be neutral. I was like, I don't fucking know. Up the walls all day, baby. All my life, cuz. But, you know,
how will go in the halves?
Hey, what's that? Oh, chance. You're cutting in announcers.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I said, how do you think he'll go in the halves? Chance.
Is he even going to play there? Because I don't know. Has he played in the halves before, or are they just doing the mind games? Going to get Toy Picky in there because he does play in the half sometimes. I don't know.
True. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know. Since you're the player, you're the professional player. I'm a couch potato. I don't know. But it'll be. Wow, I'm just gutted because I thought like the boys are on.
Oh, you thought?
No.
But this was your year again.
You already know this is because they would have been you back in the days too. Hey, this is our year. Far out, man. Oh, love them, Davey. If we get one premiership one day, that'll be like 100 Rugby World Cups for the All Blacks.
Literally.
Yeah. No, but hopefully, all the best to Sticky and the bro. What is the bro's whakapapa? How does that work? I don't even understand, to be honest. Your tani. What's his whakapapa to who? Or how does?
So his mum is from New Zealand. So she's not Maori. She's just from New Zealand.
Okay.
And his dad is from Torres Strait.
Oh, Silas.
So it's
that's pretty hard.
Yeah. They're from Huntley.
What a scucks they made, Aces.
Oh man.
But am I lagging, sis, or is it you?
Probably me, let's be honest.
Yeah, hard Canberra, yeah. Oh. No, surely, so they got the best Wi-Fi and they've got all the politicians out there. Surely. We fellas live in the wop-wops in Canberra.
Pretty much, actually.
So it's Canberra. So if someone wants to go, you got to promote Canberra for me, you know, like they say the tourism board of Canberra said, Madison Bartlett, you got to promote Canberra. What would you do to pump up Canberra to bring some whānau to come and visit?
I have to get back to you. Nah, you know what? Like, I thought when I was coming here, I was like, oh man, I'm going to hate it. Coming from Auckland where it's so busy, right? But like, I leave Canberra and go home and then I'm like, man, get me back to Canberra. There's no traffic. Like, it's just so chill, like low key. Yeah, cruisy as like, I don't know, like I actually love it here, eh?
Yeah, not me. That sounds like what I like that about Perth too. Like Perth is obviously bigger than Canberra, but it's like 2 million people here, but they don't feel like it. It's like pretty crazy. It's kick back here.
Yeah, so too, eh?
Bro, Sydney hectic here. Holy Rick, that stuff. You know?
I said that. I said, can you please never sign to for Sydney team? Because I do not want to live up there.
Not a Raider for life, eh, cuz? Raider for life. Yeah. Well, so what's the case? So you signed there for how much longer? You got another year? How many years you be in the Raider territory?
I had 24, 25 on my contracts. So, sorry. What year? I had 23, 24 on my contract. And I'm just figuring out what I want to do next. How long I want to stay for.
Yeah, that's it. I got options. Let's get, baby. Hey, no, good on you, sis. With your role you just cracked recently, can you speak about that at all? Like, do you want to tell us and how does that work? And can you just do it from Canberra, or you got to go to Sydney? I don't know how it works.
To be honest, it's like real fresh, like real new to me too. I actually got like shoulder taps and asked if I would do it. And I was a little bit hesitant because I was like, oh, I don't know, this feels like a big jump, like for me. But no, we just like have online meetings about, once a month or so, unless something comes up. But I like advocate for the RLPA like hard out. I love them. Like they've been so helpful in my own journey. And to be honest, like the people that have been on the board before me, they did all the hard work when the CBA was getting done at the end of last year. So I feel like I've come in like at a very lucky time where I get to kind of do the fun stuff. Like for the next kind of 2 or 3 years, we're focusing on other things, not just the CBA, and trying to, fight the NRL for what we deserve and those kinds of things. So, but, like I will always speak highly of the NRL. I remember, of the RLPA. I remember when I was going to judiciary a couple of years ago, like I called them straight away and they were nothing but supportive. Like the lawyers.
What did you do, sis? What did you do?
Have you not seen it? I got accused of biting someone on the field.
Yeah, I just wanted you to say.
Oh, yeah, sweet. All good. Okay, catch you later. Bye. Nah.
Yeah, that's right. Accused, baby. Accused. Yeah, that they mean.
Yeah, so they were super helpful, and like I haven't really spoken about it that much because it was like quite a mix up with and it was so stressful, like I've never really been through anything like that, and like it feels like your whole like character is getting attacked, and I was like, man, like yeah, and like I will never speak badly of the Dragons, but like, man, they fucked up real bad, Like they accidentally put guilty instead of not guilty on my submission.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've never really spoken about it because we kind of got like, but I feel like it's a long time gone now.
Yeah, it's been surely statute of limitations gone now, eh?
Yeah, so like it was, and I can understand how it happened because we were going back and forth about like what I should do, what I shouldn't do, because it was the action of my mouth being open was there, but the intention to bite was not there. So it was like, because we got to see the evidence they were going to use before I went to judiciary, right? And you can clearly see her arm is in my mouth, but there was no, but in the video, there was no action of me going towards her or any intention to, close down or anything like that. So,
but you're going to have the marks here. You're going to have the marks if that's like that, like the teeth can't go nowhere.
Well, I don't know, because I had a mouth guard in. So, you know what I mean? Like that was the other thing as well. And anyway, like,
you reckon she just win these ones? Not to fight herself.
We kind of went back and forth about what we should or shouldn't do. And like the submission got made without even my signature on it. So I hadn't signed that that's what we were going for. And then I got told that we had put through guilty, and the RLPA is like, what? No, we should have gone not guilty. You would have got off straight away, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. It was just a whole whirlwind of like emotions and roller coasters. And because like, obviously it's like the start was Madison Bartlett accused of biting, that comes up on social media first. Then the next thing is Madison Bartlett pleads guilty. So that was the next part. And then the next part is Madison Bartlett only gets one game. And then so it was just a whole lot of stages. And to be honest, like at that time, I probably had like 2,000 followers on Instagram or whatever, but I kid you not, the amount of fucking people that messaged me shit, and I was just like, I had no words, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, and of course, like off fake accounts and just like all sorts of crap. And I was just like, wow, like I actually can't imagine what it's like for boys in the NRL. Like,
actual though, Aces far
I was like, man, this is like ridiculous. But again, like the RLPA was so supportive. Like they went and got a journalist for me to talk to me about my side of the story, so that when people Google my name, the whole thing that come up wasn't just like biting. Like it had
your own narrative. Your own narrative is not just he korero anō tērā.
But like, I wouldn't have even thought of doing that, you know. And they were just like, they were just so good. So for me, I feel like in a small way, being on the board is just like a way that I can give back to the game as well, and like help. And like I love it. Like I just love what it's about, and I get along well with, you know, the other girls that work at the RLPA and things like that. So yeah, if I can just, you know, support them in any way possible to give back to the game, and kind of share my opinion as a player and things like that, then I'm all for it. So yeah, I know that they say that they're grateful to have me on the board, but I think I'm just as grateful to have the opportunity to, you know, be on the board and kind of help where I can.
Yeah. Now, you know what? And the theme of, like, you know, how important the RLPA is I hear, especially talking to the Super League players, when they're like, "Cuz we got nothing over here. Hey, we got kore." Hey, you know. So yeah, shout out RLPA, shout out like the Nudo and the whole team. They're fucking everything they done to even just getting it, because it wasn't like it is today. It wasn't like that, you know, like you know, a few years back. So they done some mahi, they done some work. And now you're gonna be a part of that mahi too. So it's their legacy. Hey.
Yeah. They run some cool things. Like we go to like, so there's delegates. So each team has representatives in the RLPA, and then they filter back down to your team. And we like go to like a conference, which we had in February. And it's so cool. They like get in speakers, they get in all sorts of stuff. And it's kind of like personal development for your own leadership as well. And I really enjoyed it. Like it was so cool. But they just put in so much effort for us. And especially during the year before, when we were doing all the CBA negotiations, like it was really cool for us to see, because it's for NRL and NRLW. And like obviously at that point in time, we really needed the women's CBA to be done. And it was so cool to see how much the boys supported us. Like they were ready to do whatever they needed to do. All the leaders that were at the RLPA conference, they were like, we had like a bit of a workshop around things that we could do. And they were like, yeah, we'll do anything that we need to get this across the line for the girls. And I was just like, that was so cool to hear how much they actually support us as well.
That's all. Like it's all that you got that support network, and that the boys stood up for you girls too. You know what I mean? Like throughout history, a lot of times women have been, you know what I mean, sometimes second-class citizens. So, you know, in a sport where, you know, let's face it, the males, you know, bring in the majority of the revenue. They don't even have to be like that, but to be like, let's show some love to the girls. And because women's rugby league is like fucking strong, even in WA, bro. Like it's like, well, it's hearty, and even like those origins in there, they be selling out to or like fucking too much, like the women's ones and stuff. They be bro, it's so cool. It's so cool to see. Like,
it'll be so interesting to see how many people are at tomorrow's one, the one in Brisbane. I reckon it'll be and just because of the way it is too, like, you know, the Queensland comp's been going, but New South Wales haven't had their local comp this time, the Harvey Norman, because the Harvey Norman's going to run alongside NRLW down here. So they haven't had any game time like Queensland had. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, 100%. Who you go for? You go for any of those or no?
I go for the girls that play in the Raiders.
Well, you're gonna do well on that board. You're very political, cuz I like it, eh?
I go for my friends.
Yeah.
Nah,
I like my friends.
To be honest, I'm a New South Wales supporter. I always have been for the boys. So when they were losing all those years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah, got a couple of dubs in there and then back to years and years again.
Yeah.
Fine, and not looking too good too. In the halves and stuff.
Holy dooly, far out.
Oh, karoha, the brothers. He's singing the blues. Wait, what changes have you seen, like from the women's game when you first came on board at the Warriors compared to not just the Warriors setup, but the whole women's game in general? Because you've played other teams. What changes can you speak on, like that you've seen? What things have improved since you started?
I think definitely like the professionalism, but also like the expectation. I think, you know, like you kind of, when I first started, not cruise along, but like now it's like there's no excuses. You know, I get paid to play full time, but you're expected to be an athlete full time, which I like. I mean, it's only going to grow and grow, and eventually it will be like paid full time. And obviously we've got more games, which I think is really cool because there's more teams, but it just means that like I think the quality is just getting better and better and better. Like, man, because when I first started with the Warriors, even in New Zealand, there was no younger grades. Like there wasn't, you know, 17s and 19s and things like that. So you got to 12 years old and you had to stop playing mix. And then you weren't allowed to play again until you were 18. So we lost 6 years of playing rugby league, but now there's those pathways. So shit, some of the athletes that are coming through, like these girls are phenomenal, you know, like I'm thinking, God damn, like I'm 10 years older than you guys and I've got to work my butt off to stay up to, you know, play with them. I guess like I've always got that experience over them with things like that, but like fitness, physicality and stuff like that, like, man, there's some freaks out there coming through. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see, but I just think in general too, like the support for the women's rugby league is just growing and growing. Like there's heaps more people at the games and things like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far it goes in the next few years.
100% now, and like with the support of the men from the men's game and the RLPA and seeing you and like Nita and or whoever else auntie of all the aunties are on their old boards and up there or doing whatever in the RLPA, just gonna keep going, cars, you know, keep doing it and the more even just like, you know, this is a little tiny podcast at the moment. It's going to be the biggest podcast in the world one day, Moses. But yeah, and I believe that. Hey, funny as, but straight up, I believe that. But I'll put in the mahi anyway. But even these little mediums to like have you on and call it all and talk about, you know, the experiences and you know what, you know, speaking your fellows truth and who you are, and the more you the social media avenues too, like, you know what I mean, like all that kind of stuff is going to keep growing too, you know, growing your profiles and stuff. I can't wait to see, like, by the time my daughter only got a 4-year-old girl, when she's up there, she might be, you know, hopefully by then she'll be able to get in there if she likes to play the game, hopefully. Up to her, I guess. But yeah, it'd be cool. Even when you fellas ever Toro or whatever, you know.
Yeah, they might play soccer. No.
Oh, true. Are you going to be one of those ones that are like, oh, they wanted to get hurt? Are you going to be one of those? You reckon,
man.
Are you going to be one of those where you're like, oh, they want them to get hurt?
Nah. Whatever they can do.
Yeah, Nick Minute, fucking pop star. Hey, you never know. You got any siblings? Or you?
Yeah. I've got a younger sister and an older sister. My younger sister lives on the Gold Coast. She just moved there. And my older sister, she is in New Zealand. She actually owns a CrossFit gym. Her and her husband went to the CrossFit Games a couple of years ago. They qualified, in the team. So they were over in America at the Games. They're pretty phenomenal athletes. And now she's she had a bub, her OC. She's 2 now, and my sister's just like back into it. I'm like, dang girl, give me some of that fitness.
We've been too much. Shout out to the. Well, were you close growing up? You free?
Yeah. We were close growing up. There's a 2-year age gap between me and my older sister, and 5 between me and my younger sister. But yeah, we're all pretty cruisy growing up. my young sister didn't really like sport that much. She was she's the pretty one. She likes getting her hair and nails done, and she was into kind of trampoline and dancing and things like that. And me and my older sister played some sport together, but then she ventured off into CrossFit, and holy shit, she's good at it.
Yeah, what about you? You got that CrossFit too, sister?
No, I'm hopeless.
Oh, come on now.
These shoulders are no good for snatches anymore. Operations, and that's a no from me.
Yeah, true. What's the worst injury you had?
I've had 3 shoulder recos.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long for one? Like, from pakaru to fixed?
Probably 6 months. But I had done like 11 weeks apart so that I could mush the recovery together.
Oh, you had to get, true.
Yeah, that was pretty hectic. And then the only other really bad one I had was I had a spiral fracture up my ankle. So funny enough, actually, Rona Peters?
Yeah.
Do you know Rona?
Yeah, Rona.
Yeah. So, yeah. So we were playing back home, and it was like my second year maybe of playing, and I was playing half. I got the ball off the back of the scrum, went to hit the second row, and they didn't hit a line. And so I got chopped from the side from Rona, and like my whole body went, and it just like fractured all the way up the outside of my foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I had, what did I have? Like 12 screws in a plate. That was pretty hectic. I was non-weight bearing on that ankle for maybe like nearly 12 weeks.
True.
Yeah, that was pretty hectic.
Rona Peters there for around me. Yeah. Hey, bang.
Literally bang, break in half.
Have you ever wanted to play any other positions, or you just like it out there?
Yeah, I kind of didn't know where I wanted to be for a while. To be honest, when I play club footy back home, I play in the halves normally. Yeah, but playing in the halves at club footy at home and playing in the halves at NRLW is very different.
Was you are running half?
Yeah, half from my soccer skills, but I don't know. Like I would like. In a dream world, I'd love to play half one day, like, because I just think from coming from tag and that, like, I was always playing in the middle, so I like putting people in holes.
Yeah, that's good.
But good at the wing, like I, really found
on the wing.
What my job is and things like that. So I don't know, maybe center, maybe fullback, but I don't know. I just kind of, I kind of look at the bigger picture and I see like where do I have the best chance at making the World Cup.
Oh, I see. Yeah. But otherwise, if you don't want to pay their halves money, cuz, I don't know, mate.
Half price because I can't kick.
No, full price out because you can do your ads. Do you think like how long till like every club has an NRLW team? Does every club? No, not yet.
No, so we're at 10. We've got 2 more coming in next year.
Yeah.
And then
coming back in one.
Stop it. He kōrero anō, tērā.
For anybody that doesn't speak Chinese, all we're saying is we love you. Yeah. It's okay.
I don't know. I reckon maybe like 2029. I still reckon there's a way to go.
Oh, okay. 2029. Oh, okay.
Still a while. I just don't think that they'll rush it because I understand they don't want to water down the competition, and like it is really big step up. And I think like even some of the scores last year reflected maybe some of the kind of levels between different teams. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess they just don't want blowout scores and stuff like that. So the smaller they can keep it for now and just kind of like, build those younger girls up through the grades, I think they'll do that for now. But who knows, say that, and then next year, bang, all 17 teams are in.
Hey, where do you reckon the next NRL team will be? What do you reckon?
If they could make it work, PNG, but it's just probably quite difficult.
I don't know, just the headaches there, ghastly.
Yeah.
I get it like the dosh is there because the government, but then fuck, do you want to play politics business wise?
That had
WA cuz come to Perth cuz we want heaps of people, heaps of Maoris here cuz heaps of Usos, heaps of the horse man, heaps of expat New South Welshmen and Queenslanders. Haram mighty Perth mining cuz heaps of dosh over here, another time zone. Do us answers. No.
Oh man, I don't know. Like Perth would be cool to have a team, but I just obviously I have no idea what they think about before, but just like the travel for teams to travel there all the time, like that would be pretty hectic. Okay.
LP. Wow, you're not helping us.
I'm just calling your dreams.
Oh, you're not helping us. Wait, one of the cousins goes, oh, if Perth gets the team, like, are you gonna cap the Warriors? I was like, hell no. I just want to see some rugby league here more often than once a year.
Yeah. You know, I remember we came up to Perth and played in the Knights. We had a Knights. Oh my gosh. That was when our freaking management forgot our uniforms and we had to play in the boys.
Right there, the boys. Or when you talk about how teach the professionalism was for the girls back, wait, did they not care about you? Oh, that's wretched. Oh, that's tickle. Oh my gosh.
You know, I came off the field and I was like, looked at my phone and I was just like, oh nah, like it was just blowing up. And I was like, because do you know those like mesh bibs that you wear, like those pink ones when you're playing like, I don't know, a con game or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm not even lying. We were warming up in those. And like if you had tights or something, like sweet, you had your tights on in this pink mesh shirt. And like the bell went, the Fox bell, that was like 2 minutes, get in the tunnel. And I was looking at each other like, bro, what are we doing? Like what are we gonna do? I think I had Kim Marlos. And like, you know how big he is?
It's you, Jacob.
So they were in the changing room next to us and like literally the bell's going like get in the tunnel and I'm looking around like I've got like my tights on, I've got my freaking pink shirt on, and then we run into their changing room and they find it so hilarious. They're like holding up the shirts like, who's number 5? And I was like, give me that. Like I put it on and no shit, it comes down to my knees and I was just like, oh fuck. And then I go, bro, I need your shorts too. And he was like,
oh true. Oh no.
Put on his shorts, and I've got like this huge shirt on, this balloon fucking shorts on, and then like all I hear is the commentators were calling us like the sockless warriors and stuff because we all had ankle socks on, just like the socks that we wore rocking up to the field. Oh my god, it was so funny. Oh, I find it funny now. At the time, it wasn't funny. Yeah. But you know how they got lost, right? Because where we were staying was like 45 minutes away. And so apparently all the bags were stacked up on the trolley. And then our one bag got left behind the door in our team room. And that was but all the bags looked the same. So they didn't know that we didn't have it. Anyway, we get there and like we had heaps of time, maybe like 2 hours or so. And so they, instead of going back to get it because it was so far away, they got an Uber to pick it up and bring it to us. But in Perth, is there like 2 stadiums or something?
Yeah. So there's the one where you played it, and then there's the new one where like which is pretty much the AFL or they have like the All Blacks go and play there when they come over the cricket. Yeah, the
so
big one.
apparently the Uber went there, and then he's like calling our manager, being like, I'm here, and she's like running around the outside of like the whole stadium trying. He's like, I'm at gate, blah blah blah. She's like, no, I'm at gate, blah blah blah. And then like we were just sitting there for ages, and I was like, what the heck? Like, it's been so long. Where are these damn jerseys? And I was like, nah, they'll come. Oh, nah. Ding, 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 ding. Fox, get in the tunnel. And I was like, holy, this is actually happening. We've got no freaking clothes. But yeah, lucky the boys gave it to us, but far out.
Far out. That's crazy, man. Because I remember seeing it, I was like you hear it on the thing, on the commentary, but then when you're actually seeing, like, oh my God, oh, wretched. And it has to be our team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at these Hories. Could have been the Titans or something.
And that was the only game we won with their shirts on. But should have just won them the whole tournament.
That's it. To see, maybe that's it. If you want to take the Raiders to a premiership, Sebastian, who might take shorts? Holy Richie. I just remember, like, what the hell's going on here? So it was meant to be, the cousins were meant to go, and then, like, had a few too many, and it was still too many, still going, and like, hey, I thought I was just wasted there. I was like, what's going on here? Oh, ratchet. And especially, like, for you, like, to kid Mamalo, that's, you know what I mean? You could have had maybe like Brian To'o, like, a little bit, you know what I mean? Fucking gave Mamalo's huge. Holy Rick. Oh, well, you got the dub there. You got one dub. Go one dub, sis. Are they going to bring the Nines back? What's the plan?
I don't know. I doubt it. It's so hard, I think, for them to bring it back, just because, like, with the time off that, like, the boys have to have, makes it difficult. And then obviously in preseason, like, teams don't want to send their high-profile players and risk of injury and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I would like to. Nines is a bit more like for the outside backs. Got some space.
Yeah, that's it. For those mean halves that don't kick ass as they mean. That's it. Andy. Too much. No, solid as. It's just before we get out of here, I know we gotta, before I take up too much of your time, I got a couple of quick questions, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. If you could have one meal for the rest of your life, one kai, what do you choose? One meal. Has to be like a real meal. Like, you can't be like, oh, I have boiled up, I have hangi, I have chop suey. No. Give us one of those. Like, or whatever you want to choose.
Probably chicken wraps.
Oh, chicken wraps. Hey, keeping on that protein.
Yeah.
Chicken wraps. What are you gonna have in it though? Take us through your process of your chicken wrap.
So you have like obviously the wrap, and then the Asian salad, you know, that you get in the bag, $5.
I don't need no salad. Yeah, carry on. yeah, Asian salad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
Chicken, lemon pepper chicken.
Oh, lemon pepper.
Yeah, lemon pepper chicken with like oven fries. Put that in, and then some sauce on.
What sauce?
Normally some garlic, hummus, and barbecue.
Ooh, that's fresh. Garlic, hummus, and barbecue.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay then. And what are we going to call that? Madison Bartlett special? Special chicken. Wait, fire you might be able to slang those. Start selling them at the games. Start your own Maddie's wraps. Yeah, Maddie's wraps. Yeah. Goodness, baby. Yeah. Oh, actually, before I just thought of a question that I thought of before, but through all my kata and stupidness, I forgot to ask. You know that time when you worked with the, like, I guess, the transitioning students going into university, did you enjoy that time? Like, or like, is that kind of mahi? Does that sort of fill your cup? Or
yeah, it was cool, and like I looked after our Maori students that were there as well, and it was like We pretty much handheld them from when they decided to come to our university right through to when they graduated. So, and I just think like, you know, being Maori, you understand that like going to university is more than just getting in the car. You know, you've got whānau to look after. You've got you know, you might have to work to help support your family. Like there's just so many other things that like, and we work closely with the Pacific team as well, who go through the same kinds of challenges. So we were always there to support each other. But just like, I think, you know, seeing Māori students graduate, like the ones that you held, was so much more to me than just them getting a piece of paper, because you know what they've been through to get there. And just to be able to be a small part of their journey, and like I like to think that I was able to help them a little bit wherever that might be along their journey, you know, that really, yeah, that's pretty fulfilling to think that, you know, you helped them. So yeah, I loved it. I really did love it. And I guess like that's why I stayed for so long. You ask why I didn't leave earlier. It's because I liked the work there, and the fact that they were allowing me to do 6 months. And COVID actually helped show my bosses that I could do a lot of my work online. So because our university teaches via distance as well, meaning they do online, it just meant that I could look after all the online students, because lots of them were overseas and stuff. So that was kind of my role. But that's honestly the truth as to why I didn't leave so much sooner, is because I loved the work that I was doing.
Wow. Mickey, that's what I was. And do you think like even like with what you're doing now, like again on the RLPA, is that something maybe you want to do going forward? Maybe I don't know if you mahi much with tamariki or students or up and coming peeps. Are you into that kind of mahi too? Like just
yeah. So I actually, while I was at the university as well, I had like a side job that I was doing, and I worked with foster children. So I yeah. So in the weekends, I was like a full-time foster parent. So I would, in Auckland, there's like a lot of foster houses across Auckland that they have what they call full-time parents, and they work Monday to Friday. And then in the weekends, they would get to have their like break, and I would go in for the weekend, and I'd work from Friday to Monday morning. And to be honest, like that was probably some of the most fulfilling work that I ever have done. And I loved it. Like it was so cool. And like, honestly, the kids were so naughty sometimes, but it was just like, you didn't look at them as in like, you're so naughty. The way I looked at it is like, why are you acting the way that you're acting? Like, what have you been through? Like, what kinds of things, you know, and how can I help them? And to be honest, I was very lucky. I get them on the weekend, so I get to do the fun stuff. I don't have to try and get them to school. I don't have to, you know, I got to go to like the trampoline parks and take them to the park. And to be fair, I took my dog that's over here now with me a lot of the time, and she was so good for so many of the kids. And I had to really fight my bosses for them to allow me to take her. And I was like, unless you see what she's like with the kids, and how like I had one kid that was so aggressive and so angry all the time, and the way he cared for my dog was like nothing I've ever seen before. He was so gentle, and he was so kind to her, and he always wanted to make sure she was fed and stuff like that. And I was like, those things you can't like, you know, you can't ask for. And I said, and that's why I was like, you just need to let me take her. Like, if you saw the way he was being with my dog, you would think it was a different child. So yeah, I mean, I love working with kids. And again, it was really hard for me to leave that mahi but it got to a point where I was like moving over here. So, and you have to have your certificates and like kind of first aid and all those kinds of things. And because I was away for so long at a time, the 6 months, it was really hard to keep up both like roles. So yeah, unfortunately I had to stop doing that, but I've always like thought about it and like tried to look into it over here a little bit and like how I could do it, but it's really hard juggling like footy sometimes in that. So I think one day, like I'd love to go back into it. I really did enjoy it, and I looked after the same kids for probably like in the weekends, like over like a year and a half. So you do like, you try not to, but you really do get attached to them. And through COVID, I actually had one boy come. We turned our house into an emergency house, and he actually came and lived with us for, what was it, maybe like 11 or 12 weeks. So yeah, it was pretty wicked, eh? Like I don't know. And like people would always say, like, aren't you too young to do that? And I was like, I don't know. Like I just like loved it. It was.
I think
like,
you got a heart for us. Just look at how much you lit up and like how you just flowed once you started talking about it. This, you got a heart for it. You know, obviously I'm a father, and like you know, we love our tamariki. But like, look at you, it's just like not only you be a good foster parent, I think you'd be an awesome mother one day. Just you know what I mean. I don't have fucking like really good fucking parents, baby. I'll probably would have came to your house if I, you know, been a foster one of those tattoos. I was one of those, but like you know, to see the eyes light up, and you know the ngako just picked up when you spoke about that. So yeah, bro. Whether it's in your future or not, I'm sure you'll be Mickey as a mother or a foster mother or both.
Yeah, I think like, you know, I think like people always think that I did a lot for those children, but I think vice versa. Like they taught me a lot as well. And I think that's what people don't understand is that like, yeah, it makes you very grateful. Yeah, 100%. And especially like naughty kids. You know, naughty kids, like you just want to help them. But that is one thing I did have to learn is like you can't save the world. You can only do as much as you can in the time that you have them, you know. But I mean, if I could make them happy for the 2 days of the week that I had them, then, you know, my job was, you know, half done. So, yeah, we'll see, eh? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, Moses? Who knows? If you could have one superpower, which one would you choose and why? Or you could even make one up if you want to create one. Some people do.
I would love to... Like straight off the top of my head, I'd love to be able to teleport only because I love traveling and I'd love to be able to just travel for the weekend around the world.
Hard. You get a breakfast somewhere, we're gonna lunch the next place and wherever. Yeah. Even that 6 months would have been easier. Just boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Save all those flights, eh?
Yeah, hard, 100%. Far out. Props to you. They're doing it. That's hectic. Most people wouldn't be keen on that. Let's give us visualizations. So 10 years from now, what's life like? Are you still running around in the NRLW, or you reckon maybe not by then? What's life like? You plan on having tamariki one day? What do you think life? What would you like life to be like 10 years from now?
I mean, I'd love to still be running around, but I don't think that's probably realistic. Yeah, I definitely like to have kids. Obviously, it's quite tricky playing footy. You know, like with contracts and stuff. We talk about it quite often. I talk about it with my family and stuff like that. We really have to think about it. But yeah, I would like to have kids. I don't know quite where we'll be living or where I'd be living. But I think I'd still like to do or be involved in the game in some way. I don't know about coaching. I mean, they've got like nowadays the wellbeing managers and those kinds of things, like managers and stuff like that. In some way or form, I think I'd like to, even maybe potentially in the RLPA. Who knows? But yeah, I'd like to be around and involved in the game. Some way or another.
Yeah, I mean, last one, do you got any pieces of advice for anybody that wants to give it a crack? Maybe they just like, you know, they're on the cusp of cracking it. Any pieces of advice for them?
I think life advice to start with is like, don't be a dickhead, you know, like
but
like for real, like, you know, it's funny, I spoke at my mum's primary school and I said to the kids, like they're year 6, so what's that, like 10 years old, and I said, you know, like no one wants to be in someone's team that's like talking behind their back and stuff like that. And that's so true even through to our, like, you know, professional sport now. Is like the teams where we got along the best are when, like, you know, no one's got anything negative to say. And I think that's like in life, like you don't want to be known for that, talk shit about people, you know. So I think like that's the biggest one, like be kind to everyone. Like just like my mum always says, you got 2 choices, like you can either be mean or you can be kind. And I'm like, man, kindness always wins, and it's free. Like just give it out to everyone that you can. But in regards to sport, like just give it a go, and like I know like you're always competing against other people, but compete against yourself. Like what can you be better at? Where can you be better? And just be willing to learn. I mean, I've been playing for a while now, but man, I've still got so much to learn, and all these different coaches and players that I get to play around. Like I've always got something to learn off them and like little tips and tricks. So just be open to learning from them. And man, like the road is not easy. I don't know how many times I got told like I'm not good enough for the Kiwis, and like I had injuries and stuff like that. I could have given up so many times, but I was like, nah, stuff yous. I got something to prove.
Too much.
Yeah, so like those kinds of things. But yeah, man, the biggest one is just be kind to people. Like I know it sounds cliche, but you truly never know what someone's going through, and your one smile or your one like helping hand could literally change, you know, their whole life in that moment. So yeah, that's probably the biggest one.
Yeah, thank you, sis. I just want to say, time's the most valuable commodity we have as humans. The one thing we can never get back. We can always get back money, we can always get back things, but time spent is time lost. So thank you for sharing over an hour of your time with me and anybody that listens to this for years to come. I appreciate you, sis, and I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully it's not the last time we link, not just on here, but maybe even catch up with you and the brother for one of those Maddie reps. See?
Nah, Katie Pie, hey, thank you for having me. Like, shout out to you for the work that you're doing. It's been like total good at hard. But yeah, like appreciate it, and thank you for having me on. It was cool.
No, big love, sis. Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.